Hey everybody, it's Jay at LockNLube, and today we are answering one of the most common questions we get. Why in the world are there so many options when you just want to get a LockNFlate Air Chuck? There's straight and 90, there's open and closed, and here we're going to tell you why. The closed flow goes on the end of your pressurized airline. That's so that it stops the airflow when you're not connected to a tire. Now with our 90-degree air chuck, let me show you why you don't want to put an open flow air chuck directly onto a pressurized airline. Nobody wants that. You're gonna want a closed flow chuck. Push this on, and once it's on there, that closed flow chuck is capping the airline, right? We're not losing any air here. The open flow goes on your inflator gauge so that there's no back pressure in the system when you're controlling the airflow with a trigger or a foot pedal. This is an open flow air chuck. Anytime I turn the air on with this thing, it is going to spray air out. Let's put it closed on. Let's put it closed on and see what happens. Jeez, settle down. When I'm not connected to the tire and I pull the trigger here, no air's coming out, 70 pounds of pressure in the system. That's why we don't recommend using a closed flow chuck with an inflator gauge. For something like this, it's fine, you can, but you're gonna get inaccurate readings when you disconnect because of that back pressure in the system. Now on a tire balancer or a computerized system, you may actually have problems there because that system needs to zero out to know that it's been disconnected. When I push down on the thumb lever, it exposes the jaws. That allows them to spring open so that they can engage with the valve stem. It doesn't do anything with the seal. So pushing down on that thumb lever doesn't allow air to flow through a closed flow air chuck. We'll use this, our cordless inflator adapter, as a substitute for our valve stem so you can see what happens. I push the thumb lever down, engage the valve stem, and as soon as I push down on that seal, the air starts flowing. As soon as I disengage, the air stops, whether I'm holding the thumb lever down or not, right? If you plan to put your air chuck directly on a pressurized airline, buy a closed flow. If you're gonna use it exclusively with an inflator gauge or some way where you have control over the airflow, get yourself an open flow LockNFlate Air Chuck. So depending on how you're using the air chuck, you get to decide, do you want an open or a closed? And depending on the tires you're working on, do you need straight access or do you need a 90-degree access? Two simple decisions and you're off to the races. Thanks for watching. Hopefully now you've got the information you need to make the decision on which air chuck is right for you. For more information, check out LockNLube.com or search for us on YouTube.